Okay, well, here we are again. It's been a wild couple of days. Haven't been feeling great about, just the state of the world, I guess. Excuse me. Still feeling a little ill. That's been sticking around. It seems like a lot of people in my area have been having the same thing. But here we are. This is different. This is our time to do a little handwriting, and I find it some meditative practice. Hopefully, it will help us. I did finish this up. But that's not on screen simply because of some recording problems. So we'll just move on. You can totally do that. There's nothing particularly new in there. Though I would mention on page 22, look at these self-eval things. These things are sort of important. They're helpful. Um, excuse me. And they remind you here, and I think I have forgotten about it before. They This book is for your if it's your first experience. Go ahead and write over the examples. I have a love and hate with that. I mean, I get it. It is nice. They say if it's your first experience through it, uh, because it trains you, to do the letters. You're tracing the letters the way they want you to do them, and then they kind of let you go do that. Uh, so that's great. My misgiving about that is I'm writing over my example piece. So the first time I actually did this book, I went ahead and just wrote below it, and then I thought, ooh, I should write over. I missed that. But then I went back at times, even after completing the book, and traced along, figuring I'm destroying the examples. But I kind of liked having the examples. That's enough of me talking. Here we go. Another thing to watch out for. Not watch out for, not a problem, an opportunity. But let's go ahead and start writing. I'll go ahead and follow their advice and write over it. Now, capital T, I will do the crossbar first. Uh, the lowercase, they don't. H, that retrace is always the sticky part. E, missed a little bit there. The G, I got to remember to stop the C there and not go up. The C of the G. R, two E's, one K. S. S. Hey, I felt pretty good about that S. Now, remember with that A, back down here, if you look at it, they talk about being sort of aggressive with a flat top on it. Uh, we're not doing circles. This isn't stick and ball. This isn't, our D isn't this. Uh, P and the ones below have the flat on the bottom. I got over aggressive there. D a little bit. Now there I went a little bit aggressive. I just did flatten and turn the corner. I don't think that's exactly what they mean. Whoa, big fella. Just fall into it. Yeah, I haven't been feeling mentally great, attitude-wise. I want to say spiritually, but I don't mean to attach a lot to that. More like esprit de corps, that sort of spirit. I'm not making any theological claims or anything in that, but just my overall mindset. Feeling a little bit, so take a minute. Now, I think it tends to happen at the beginning before I kind of warm up, but I am doing too much of a grip. Remember this, tap, tap, tap. Put it back. In we go. They talk a little bit about linking crossbars there off on the F and T, which I like to do. I admit I just think it's, one, it's a little more fluid because you only have the one to do, but two, I just like the way it looks. It's fancy. I want to be fancy. I'm a fancy man. I'm a fancy lad. Oh, this helps. It really does. Small improvements. Yeah, I had some technical problems yesterday. I think I recorded the video about 3 times, and first the recording didn't fire, and I didn't look because I'm not that bright sometimes. So I did this section at first, um, period. I did that section first, the whole thing, without realizing, and go to stop recording and realize it wasn't going, and then um, I had headset issues, so the audio wasn't working. And after about 3 times, I'm just like, well, at some point you just have to let it go. And it's not inconsequential. There's nothing. There's not really new material there. So I'm sure you guys can handle that on your own. Not that you need me anyway, but we're doing this together. I'd be interested to know if you actually absorb, at least consciously, are absorbing the sentences that you're writing on these. Um, I'm not sure if I do or not. I think at times I do, and at other times I feel like I don't. Whether I'm getting it below my notice, I don't know. But F can go over, catch the R. It's a little offset from theirs, but I feel, since I can see a consistent blue line next to it, I feel like I was self-consistent, but just didn't get their spacing right. So yeah, it's weird calligraphy. I mean, I don't know if I should call this calligraphy itself, but I think you get the idea. The calligraphic sense of handwriting. Uh, as handwriting can be, as penmanship can be as drawing. You're making the shapes and you're making them pretty. Um, it serves two masters. I mean, it's you've got the drawing aspect that are the shapes and just the raw aesthetics of it, but then there's the words themselves. So there is two different forms of mind working, I think, there, um, which is funny. Sometimes it feels like they're slightly adversarial or one wants to take control. Let's see, oh, that was just, I think, my phone being connected to the USB. I use a Sonum. Uh, it's a ruggedized phone. One of these rugged phones. Actually, uh, just because I'm clumsy and I break things. Not so much my action adventures, just I'm clumsy. My preferred computer, laptop computer, is a Toughbook. Uh, Got to get a new one at some point, but boy, howdy, they're expensive. I like the CF33, but they have the old aspect ratio, the 4:3 aspect ratio, and I get it. Panasonic, the Toughbook division, they spend, I think, probably a considerable amount of resources um, working on the chassis, and then figuring the electronics, change with various versions. Uh, but the chassis is sort of a larger development cost, so they don't change the chassis as fast as the rest of the computer world. I think that's why that's still stuck on 4:3 old television uh, aspect ratio, as opposed to like a 16:9 that we see now. Um, and now with the amount of GUIs and stuff everybody's using, it does. I'm going to do two T's. I'm actually going to bring into that E a little bit. You get crossbar very poorly. Um, but then new ones are like, I don't know, I think $5,000 somewhere in there. So here we go. I'm going to copy it over. Now notice here, over here they had us line by line. Here, the big difference is we're doing the paragraph now. Ooh, look at me go. Now I kind of have to read what I'm doing. And look what I did. So correct it. You lose focus. So we'll talk about computers some other day. don't like that it didn't get completely closed. Not that far off the spacing. Not that on it either. Now they put the T right on the waist. I don't know that that's. I don't know that I like that or not. Determine the. Guess we'll go with it. That makes that top part of the crossbar went too far up. By far. Got a net on this. Oops, that's very far on the T. That's something I got to watch. Too far up. Maybe finer, but not. Look at that. Maybe a little fine for now, like a finer detail. I need to not worry about too much, but I think staying aware of it's good. Don't have to obsess about it. Not obsessing about something isn't my strong suit. I'll try to let it go. I need. Let's see. Whoops. See, I'm floating again. That's me drifting. Period. Make that period a little bit more. Oof. Phoenicians generally wrote from right to left. I used to work in software localization. I wasn't a translator. I would enlarge the text boxes and do all the computery type stuff. Uh, deal with the interface issues. Um, but it was interesting with things like Farsi. Oh boy, look at me! I'm all over the place. Okay, calm down. Uh, how there would be right to left, and it made. We did a lot on Windows. We did printers and stuff like that too. But we did a lot of Windows interface. Software that would work under Windows, and even we would load the localized Windows systems to work on that when we had to do Windows. And it was uh, when I say nauseating, I don't mean out of disgust, but it was um, discombobulating for sure. What's the word I'm looking for on this? I'm still not doing great, am I? Um, Disorienting. And I try to do it again. I try to do 2 hours. Uh, that is so weird. But it was disorienting because even the start button and everything would be reversed. Uh, so it just felt weird. Uh, and it did give me a mild, I mean, so when I say nauseating, it would feel unsettling. Right. Wow, dude, I am everywhere. Okay, settle down. Um, but I would feel, slightly, yeah, I mean, there is just out of balance and slightly disoriented. So not really vertigo, but a slight disorientation because of that, because everything just felt, wrong. And since I'm working on these computers 8+ hours a day, it feel strange. But then the funny thing is, while it's left to right, excuse me, right to left rather, I'm sorry, um, the Arabic numerals still work the other way. So we couldn't just dumbly tell the system just go right to left with everything because oh, but the numbers work the other way. Uh, that's bad. Okay, settle it down. Still coming back. Still coming back to life, but I shouldn't obsess on that either. So that was weird. But yeah, see, I lost focus there. But that's part of meditation, like we're talking about. The thing about meditation is you're going to drift, and you let yourself come back to it. Maybe it would be interesting if I didn't prattle on one of these. And we just wrote together. Guess I missed that opportunity today. But maybe when we get into cursive, which is coming up, um, there'll be some more of these kind of whole language exercises. And I can do it there again, kind of straight at the top. I think just being aware of that straightness as opposed to trying to force it is the way to go. I think just keep it in mind, but don't try to execute it because I push too hard when I do that to make it really straight. And then I all of a sudden, and have to take that tight turn and it looks like a bump on there. So I think just remind myself that that's happening, but not specifically do the, I'm going to make this straight. Feel kind of dizzy. Just did a kettlebell workout. Trying to get my health back. Got some back problems. Do acupuncture and stuff for it. Tried, some of the other stuff. Cortisone injection and physical therapy and all that. Gosh, I've probably been at it 5 years. And I've lost a lot of health, a lot of strength, a lot of athleticism. But the acupuncture helps, and massage, therapeutic massage. But when I say therapeutic massage, it's like being in a fist fight. This isn't a rub feel good kind of thing. I get worked. It hurts, but I feel great afterwards. So and I've got a lot to fix. I guess this is going to be a bit of a rebuilding season. They're in a rebuilding year. So where I'm at. Guess I better accept it. Because it's what's happening. This is what's happening, dude. Oops. These are a little off. Not terrible, though. Wonder what the asterisk is for. Oh, Balstrophidin. Bu, Boostrophin. Ox turning. I mean, this kind of deal. Back and forth, back and forth. That's what that's about. Okay, we did continue on with the paragraph here. And that be getting the proportions of those two hoops, the two bumps on a B is interesting. Oh, we got a letter, a numeral there. Again, I start the 5 down and then a crossbar, which really does keep you from turning it into some kind of just wiggly yes looking thing. We're going to go a little over our 20 minutes. If that's okay. But I think we're far enough in where that's okay every once in a while. I still want to keep it down just for the general time commitment. But we'll do a little catch up here. How about that? And I think at the end of the page, we'll feel better about that. But if you only have 20 minutes, do the 20 minutes. Finish up the rest when you have an extra 5 minutes. Or don't. I suggest, go ahead and finish it up. But if it gets in the way, if the completion is, I didn't finish that page, because this is all, this is whole practice here. So you're not really, it's good, but you're not missing a concept or anything. It's study hall. Oh, study hall. Study hall. Detention for the good kids. And to be honest, I could probably use it. It's taking me a little bit to get into focus and feel it. So again, it's that thing I think I mentioned on another video. There's that little saying, uh, you need to meditate for 15 minutes a day. If you're too busy to meditate for 15 minutes a day, you need to meditate for 30 minutes a day. Yeah, you hear that kind of shudder? It's almost a sigh in my voice. Oopsie, I cut. That was an interesting way of doing things. Not wrong, but I think I should. I don't want to be rigid, but I want to be regular. But it was weird. I think my hand is looking for efficiencies. So if I can master this, as I get better at it, I will look at maybe modifying things to fit me with some um, efficiency. I don't think you're supposed to actually have the T and the H touching each other, but I like it. Again, don't come off protocol too much. Here they don't. Again, lowercase t, the crossbar goes after. Oh, big test though. Do we know what test this is? Yes, we do. Look at that! I made it. I made it. How cool is that? Ooh, a little deep on the S. The Greeks began writing in both directions. I wonder if that's kind of the same thing. Oops, I'm still a little tall on that. So just something to watch out for. Uh, just going back and forth like the ox thing they're talking about, uh, and how I was talking about doing the strokes kind of in a search for efficiency. It seems like maybe they're doing the same thing. Like I don't want to have my hand have to do a carriage return like a typewriter, you know, with no writing that way. We'll just do this, and uh, it'll be more efficient. I don't know if they were specifically thinking that, but just you get that feeling, economy of motion. That's all over the place. So settle it down. Check that death grip. Watch that T. Route all power to front deflector screens. Man, I thought that A-Wing dude route all power to front deflector screens. I thought A-Wing Daddy was cool from Star Wars in the original one, A New Hope with the trench. Um, Here's that dude almost there. Right, he was a cool cucumber. I mean, things were exploding around him, and he's all locked in to do his job. And I mean, I get the argument. It's like, well, the targeting computer couldn't handle it anyway, uh, and use the force. But I think that's a little bit that like, oh, I will do it by passion. But I thought he was the dude. You know, he held it together. Almost there. I thought that was an awesome scene. I kind of wanted him to make the shot. He's kind of the Hermione of them, I suppose, and not the man of action, the man of cool intellect or whatever is how they maybe played him, but he was out there in it. He was out there in it getting blasted at, and he held it together. Woo, that got weird. So props to A-Wing, dude. More self-composed than I am. I'm really making those things tall, aren't I? Okay, some small caps. See, hey, I didn't get caught on calling them lowercase caps. Oops, I'm floating them all over the place though. It's always weird though on the putting that E right on the line. It sort of disappears. I don't like that. They didn't, so I got to watch that because they're just kiss it. That's a task and a half. Whoa, that's Keep doing it. I'm going to have to work specifically on that, I think. Wonder why they changed what we were just now writing about. Why they got rid of, I mean, I get that it's just not that regular, the ox thing, and you do have to read in directions, and there's probably other problems. And but there's problems with a lot of old systems. Woof. Okay, that's just muscle fatigue. That's all that is. There we go. Correct that. You can, and they definitely weren't. Well, it makes it harder for computers to parse. I don't think they were thinking that. Uh, so I wonder what spurred them to only do that. If it just made it easier for the eye to track, or you don't have to immediately look at an isolated line, I think, and go, which way is it going? Maybe that's it. I mean, what caused the confusion, and do you actually get yourself in that situation? In the days of parchment. Okay, bringing that T down a little bit. Flew the bottom of it, but that's okay. Self-evaluate. Are you leaving about the width of an N between words? Let's see. Eh, ish. That's a little tight, maybe. Maybe not. Yeah, it's all right. Just draw some ends in between them. They kind of show that. Okay, well, a little over 27 minutes. I just want to value your time because we are. I definitely was a little optimistic in 15 minutes, but just a nice 20 minutes to get the day uh, in some kind of balance, whether you do it at the beginning or the end. But thanks for stopping. Hope to do a little bit better soon. Bye bye.